Is it doing this? Okay, cool. It didn't update it? Oh my goodness. Come on, OBS. You guys are sucking. Alright, I'm gonna go grab a drink. I'll be right back, guys. Alright. But I'm watching a loading screen. Alright, I'm here. Damn, it's so hot in this room. Okay. I'm setting the palette up. And we will be ready to finish Leg of Lamb. Okay. Come on now. Boom, boom, boom. Okay. Boom, 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 boom. Alright, so let's hop on over right over there. Wowee. Is the, Aha, exactly what I was thinking. This one's fine though, right? No, it's fine. Okay, so let me, fix this. It's so funny. It resets itself constantly. Oh, maybe, that's probably why. Alright. And then just to match the vibe from yesterday, we gotta turn this guy. Yeah. I gotta be magenta. Alright, so bust this out over here. Hope you're all doing good today. As I stirred a proverbial pot earlier. Alright, so we're gonna finish up this miniature. I don't know if I'm happy with the skin currently, so we are probably going to go in and do something to it. So, that being said, I'm going to take oiled leather, so I'm doing a kind of tan ochre color there, you can see it right there. And I'm going to be doing like mid-tone. What is shaking everything? Alright, well anyway, I'm going to be doing mid-tone glazing in these shadows, so I just feel like the contrast is too sharp on his face. So I'm going to be going back into some of those shadow areas, where of course we have our nice warm tone. I think it was, what's up David? I think it was like, I don't even know. I don't even know. But, Auburn Shadow, probably. Alright, let's do a little lazy glazy. we can rework the face, right? But I'm just trying to kind of get rid of some of this harsh contrast here. Alright, so that's a good start. I kind of needed it to be a little bit thicker, but definitely need to go back over here. Brighten up this side. Maybe up here. Something like that. Yeah, this side of the face got skipped. Skip leg day over here. No real reason other than we just didn't do it, I'm pretty sure. Okay. So, the face looks way better now that I went in there with that mid-tone. Actually, it's even more, you know, dynamic because we added a separate tone. It's more of like a yellow tone that didn't exist in there previously. I kind of want to... Hold on, let's see. Right here where it's darker, I was thinking maybe I go in a little bit on that side, a little bit on this side. Now remember, this color is diluted, of course. And there we go. Now, that's an elf face. Is that how that works? Oh, whoops. I need to check something really quick. I like how I remember something once I'm in the middle of painting here. I'm gonna go check though. Somebody sent me a message. Oh, I forgot we did the back the way... Oh, you know what? I really like our greens. I forgot that's what we did. I think it looks pretty good. You know? After not looking at this miniature for what feels like ages, right? Forever delayed, just like Holly's poor paint job, but I didn't have a camera, and I know I was supposed to be doing it on camera, so... Big thanks to everybody that's doing these sponsored streams as well. I've got a few in there already, so that's really cool. One moment. Okay. Man, I'm just throwing people under the bus today. I love it. Not really throwing people under the bus, but like I'm answering some questions that I probably wouldn't have answered a few months ago. just ruthlessly. Okay. Alright, so I like adding a little bit more of yellow. Now, we should go brighter on the skin, and right now, he's literally like just up to the actual paint color. So I'm going to throw some on there, then I'm going to throw some white. So today I went to the post office earlier, probably around 11. And I went up there to ask about what happened to this package. So someone bought stuff from the Purge sale, and it was pretty expensive. It was like $150 or something. And I dropped the package off exactly where I've dropped hundreds of packages off. It's where they tell you to put prepaid postage up on like their counter. And so I did that like I always do, and it never got scanned in. And it's been almost 7 days. And it's not updated, not shipping. They have no evidence of it in their system, yada, 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 right? So I don't know what happened. They lost my package. And that means I have to refund the money, yada, 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 right? Total headache. And so when I spoke to the supervisor, right, he was like, oh, well, you should be scanning in your prepaid postage at the self-service machine, or you should be standing in line to do it. If you're dropping stuff off here on the counter, it's not a requirement for us to scan anything. It's more of a courtesy to try and make things easier for people that have a lot of prepaid postage. And I'm like, okay, that's fair, but I also feel like saying that it's my fault doesn't help me with the fact that I have a missing package, right? Like, he essentially just completely diverted responsibility, being like, well, this is you, somehow, right? Somehow this is my fault, somehow it's mine. And I'm like, so how do I do an insurance claim for a package that was never scanned in? Because it looks like I'm just scamming you all, right? And he was like, yeah, they probably won't help me on an insurance claim. So I'm just out the money, out the product, right, whatever. And he was like, if you want to do this, you can do this, you can do this. And he's like, but what you really should do is just set up a pickup at your place or whatever. And he's like, but just know that even if you're scheduled for like pickups every day, or whatever day you choose, even if you select what time you want pickups at, they still may arrive early or late. So most businesses need to start operating either a day behind or a day ahead to make sure they're always ready for their order pickups and drop off, whatever. And I'm like thinking to myself, like, well, that doesn't work because I ship like every day, and it's always at the end of the day that I'm like rushing. So what makes the most sense, because I cannot afford at all to do UPS shipping, FedEx shipping, whatever. I don't have enough volume, right, to get a discount. I mean, I can get 15, whatever it is. It's like 10% off or 15% off regular postage through a business account. But at that point, I would have to charge you guys like $11, $12 shipping, right? Which is stupid if I can do it cheaper, because I need to be able to sell stuff. So I just had to make a change where I am only shipping things on Tuesdays and Fridays. That way I can have everything ready on Mondays to go out on the Tuesday, so it doesn't matter what time they get here. And I can have things ready by Friday. Doesn't matter what time they get here, so they can be ready to rock and roll. So moving forward, like literally effective immediately, that's the new plan, because if I insure a package and it never gets scanned in, what good is the insurance? That doesn't help me at all. And what sucks specifically, right, about the Purge sale item being lost is that it's gone. It's not like a 3D print that I can make again. That's just literally $150 worth of stuff down the drain. So that was pretty disappointing. But and I like the postal service, right? Like, I feel like other than all the changes that were forced on them last year, that really hurt them, right? I've had no issues with them at all up until recently. So it is unfortunate that it happened that way, and I understand why the supervisor's like, well, since you didn't get it scanned in physically, like, there's, whatever, it should still show up, whatever, he would. That's the thing. Like, I'm sure he was expecting me to just, like, literally explode and, like, lose it on him, but I was really cool about it, and I'm like, okay, well, I'm gonna have to refund the person. And he's like, well, you shouldn't refund the person because if it's a guaranteed delivery. And I'm like, well, how long are they, how long am I supposed to sit here and be like, I promise it'll be on the way soon. Like, that just makes me look stupid. So, and we already know I'm real dumb to begin with. But yeah, so I dealt with that this morning. That was pretty upsetting. And then Reaper, I went to go check my shipping status on my Kickstarter, and it looks like, oh, they paid for UPS Mail Innovations instead of their regular UPS, so it got transferred to SurePost, which is literally the slowest and cheapest shipping method you can pay for. So why did I pay them $20 for shipping if they only paid about $6 for shipping? And my Kickstarter was delayed, so why did they not pay for, you know, like regular delivery times? Pretty shitty, but I posted about it in the Reaper Facebook group, being like, yo, is anybody else getting this? Because that's kind of bullshit, right? Like, shouldn't they be shipping things to get it to us quickly and not what's most cost effective? And people were not very nice to me about it, so I ended up leaving the group because it's just so stupid. Like, it's just so dumb. So that's been my day, other than seeing the hilariously gross nature of the Warhammer 40k groups. But my post made that pretty clear earlier today too. Yeah, it's just been a really weird day. It's been a really weird week, really weird 2 weeks. Now that we're not catching up on Miniature Mondays and all that good stuff. So I still feel like the problem is the cheek is sculpted so round. It's just silly. I just feel like, because we just made that brighter, but thanks, James. Yeah, I mean, I'll be doing, I need to run prints tonight and whatever, right? So I'm running orders tonight, and then I'm either going to assemble some of the Age of Sigmar stuff, or I'm actually going to start updating the store, which I'm literally so far behind on, guys, but it's just, it is what it is. What can I say? Like, updating the store in terms of uploading the new busts that are available, yada yada yada, right? I get that. I'm sorry, guys. I just got a lot going on. What can I say? The 40k post was gold. Yeah, my favorite, like, when I literally replied to the guy that was like, people are infiltrating our community, and I'm like, yeah, dude, I'm paid by George R.R. Soros. Like, I left so many comments like that these chuds, like, literally don't understand. Like, their mental capacity is, like, only big enough to be afraid of a boogeyman and, like, not process information. So I enjoyed it. I enjoyed every single second of it. And, you know, I just gotta say, it's really nice that, and I already knew quite, like, like, look, everybody knows, right? Like, I enjoy nothing more than making fun of those people that think that way, right? Like, you're stupid. We're painting toys. Of course, I'm doing it and trying to make money by doing it. But at the end of the day, right, like, none of this has anything to do, like, it's all boogeyman BS, right? And it's just so funny that I posted it and I was like, you know what, I might get, like, you know, there may be somebody that comes in here and tries to, like, pseudo-intellectualize it and, like, tell me how I'm wrong or something, which I would have loved, right? I would have loved to go completely all in and just, like, talked about identity politics and, like, quote people like Baudrillard, Foucault. Oh, even better, like, I could start quoting people like Deleuze and Guattari, right? And, like, get really crazy talking about, like identity praxis and, like, all crazy things like that. And I would have just made them seem stupid, right? Not that it would change their mind, but it would just make them finally deal with somebody that's not just going to be like, you're a bigot, right? But to my surprise, all the comments are awesome, right? Like, it's great. Everybody's super on board with the way that I think. And I mean, I feel like most people would, if you've watched me long enough, right, you know what the deal is. I'm not here to play around with those idiots, and it is what it is, right? So, but it's cool to be able to post that and be like, hey guys, I want to do 40k content. I have no problem with like Age of Sigmar stuff, because guess what? Those idiots don't, like, they don't appear like they do in 40k. It's just weird, right? How it's like completely different group of people. So I have no problem with that, but I definitely wanted to be like, especially since every single hobby group right now has the gatekeeping meme being posted, and, like, it's just so weird how it's exposing, like, a bunch of morons in the hobby, right? Like, literally, if you have a local game store that you buy things from or you play games with, and you're of the opinion that gatekeeping is a good idea in this hobby, whether it's role-playing games, whether it's Warhammer, whether it's painting, anything, right? Doesn't matter what it is. I don't care if you like boats, dude. I don't care if you're into fly fishing. I don't care if you're into makeup tutorials. But, especially, okay, right, like a game store, if you're gatekeeping, you're gonna put them out of business, right? And these same people that are gatekeeping, talking about like, oh my god, I don't like change, I don't like new miniatures, I don't like whatever. Those are the same people that go and play at a game store and they buy their shit used secondhand on Facebook Marketplace and eBay. So they're not even spending money at the shop. They will be responsible for your store closing, right? So that's what I love about them being like, no new people in the hobby, no, unless I agree with you, and like just shit like that. It's just so cringe, man. It's so lame. Like, anyway, but I loved that everybody was on board. That just makes me happy, right? Like, and you know, I just wanted to say, like, hey, I want to paint 40K miniatures. Like, that was the first thing that captured my eye as a kid. I was 8 years old, man. And I went inside of a game store with my parents, and they had a Gorka Morka table set up. And, yeah, so James, so the idea with gatekeeping right now, this is super stupid, okay? It became a hot topic because the idea of, like, literally, can female Space Marines exist, okay? Which is so, like, guys, we're literally talking about shit that's not real. Okay, it's not real. None of this exists. Like, I don't even think I have a Warhammer miniature. Yeah, here, look, wow, cool. This sculpture is of something that's not real. Okay, it's fake. The company could come out and say, oh, just kidding, he has invisible wings and now he can fly, and you just got to deal with it, right? Like, it's fake. Okay, so the discussion has started coming around like, oh, female Space Marines, what's next, right? And it's people that suddenly say that there are, and I posted some of the comments too in the replies on the Facebook page of people saying like liberals are ruining our hobby and then they say things like a bunch of colored hair people and SJWs, which is so funny that like having hair dye, I guess, means like there's something wrong. Like, I don't even know. These people literally are hogs, man. They're like the bottom of the barrel. Like, literal moron hogs. I don't even know how to engage. Like, the pandemic has taught me a lot of things about how stupid people are, right? Like, we all have seen weird things, no matter what you believe politically, that you're like, that's a little strange to think that these people exist. And like, if you're in America and you're like, damn, you have the same right to vote as me, right? Like, wow, that's pretty crazy. But it's the same thing with these Warhammer guys, right? So they make it political. And then they start saying things like, keep politics out of my hobby, when literally they're like creating boogeymen that don't exist. And so they're saying, do not, like, gatekeeping is good because we can keep people that we don't like out of our game and out of our hobby, right? Like, I don't want somebody that's in our hobby. Like, look at the replies on my page. There's a trans person that literally played games at a store for years, started to transition, and suddenly they're no longer welcome in their game store. They're literally not people do not want to play with them. They don't want to talk to them. These are the same people that played with them for years, right? And it's real. Ask any woman that has been interested in Warhammer, and they're like, yo, nah, people were really weird, and they didn't want me in the hobby and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, so that's what it's all about. And because I know how these people are, if I'm working on a Warhammer 40K miniature and I am on Twitch and I tag it Warhammer 40K, we've seen this happen a couple times, and I didn't say anything about it, but like there will be people that pop into the stream and they're gonna go in the chat and they're gonna right? Like when I was working on randomly one of the Space Wolf guys, right? Like a dude came in and was just saying stuff I didn't understand, and he's like, oh, Space Wolves are my army, and I'm like, cool, man, I just painted, right? Like, I don't know anything you're talking about. Stuff like that's gonna happen, and could be, do you know what those are for? Yeah, exactly, Sidling. But because of the crowd, we could have, some people pop in the chat that are just here to troll and be weird. And as soon as they do that, and I can't, like, honestly, to be real with y'all, I can't wait, just because I just, nothing makes me happier than confronting those people and just shitting all over them, right? And my favorite thing, too, is that they're like, oh, what about being tolerant, right? Like, nah. No. No, 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 no. That's not. You came into my house and you didn't take your shoes off, so now I'm gonna hit you, right? Like that's the idea. But so it's just literally like for me, yeah, and it's gonna kill the hobby. It is, and but so JJ, just know it's not gonna kill the hobby, right? It's gonna expose. Yes, it'll expose the group to idiots and trolls, right? But so JJ, that's a good point. This is what I said previously. Okay, if Games Workshop is undeniably the most profitable and biggest company on the planet when it comes to miniatures and wargaming, which it is, other than NECA, right? Because they make like WizKids shit, whatever. Like they're a toy company, so who cares? But Games Workshop, wargame, biggest one on the planet. Okay, if they're a $100 million, $500 million company, and they start making little changes over time, and these little gatekeeping, neckbeard, fedora-wearing, incel, I've never touched a woman's foot, but I want to sniff them, right? Like e-girl, gamer girl, bathwater dudes, right? So you have all these McDonald's militia guys, and they're like, oh, what do you mean Warhammer's for everyone? Because Games Workshop literally put out a statement that was like, yo, Warhammer's for everyone, you chuds. Like, would you quit doing this shit? It's bad for business, right? It's bad for the hobby. And they all got mad. Hold on. We know we don't do there we go. We don't do vocals. But so these guys get mad, right? And Games Workshop's like, hey, can you guys please not do that? Like, it's bad. They start freaking out. But guess what? If you see something in a community slowly start changing over time, and it's a profitable business like Games Workshop, it's because the majority of the market is moving in that direction. The people in these groups are like, oh, the few SJWs are going to ruin it because they're going to bend to their will. Sorry, moron. Do you not understand that these companies hire people to, like, understand trends in the market and understand what is going to sell the most because they want to keep making more and more money, right? So if everyone is moving as a society in a certain way, you're getting left behind. If I want to go see dinosaurs, I'm not going to go to my local game store. I'm going to go to a museum, right? I don't want to see dinosaurs at my local game store, right? I'm like, oh wow, look at that thing. That used to be the norm, and now it's dead and gone, right? Congratulations, rest in peace. You ruined your own hobby, right? Their hobby's ruined, and I love that. That's fine, but it's just so whack. And these are the same people. Like, don't forget, okay? When I first got into this hobby, I went to a game store as a kid, okay? And I wanted to learn how to play Warhammer. A grown-ass man, all right, intentionally cheated while he was playing against me just because he could. Just because he thought it was funny. And when I found out in the games, because I was really upset. I was crying. I'm a fucking 9-year-old kid. And a grown man who I have no reason not to trust is just fucking with me for fun, right? That was my introduction to this hobby. Think about that. My parents complained to the store owner and they're like, hey, this guy's an asshole. What the fuck's going on? And so the store owner says something to the guy, like in front of me. And he starts laughing, the guy, and he goes, this isn't for kids. I don't feel bad. There it is. There it is. That's these guys. And guess what? He stopped showing up because people didn't want to fuck with him anymore. Okay? So that was literally, like, these people have existed forever, and that's who these people are. That are complaining, crying, my hobby, like, whatever, right? I just don't even know, right? But that's the thing, right? I was introduced to the hobby by a grown-ass man cheating just for fun to fuck with me when I was a kid. And guess what? Now I'm a grown-ass man, and I'm going to treat these people like children, because that's what they are. I know better than what this is. So, that's where we're at with that topic. The back of my knees are sweating. You guys got me heated. But I'm also fat, so it happens. But, let me fix the face cam, because it's doing that weird thing. Hold up. And I don't think that helped. Hold on, guys. Man baby's 40K, yeah. But, so that's the thing, I'm going to do what I want to do with it. We're going to have a fun time. And it shouldn't be, oh, that's what I need to do. Hold on. Let me turn this down and then do brightness. Is that how we do this? Make it bright, hit some gain, and then increase the contrast. Whoa. What is happening? Hold on, guys, sorry. There we go. So now the camera won't do that weird nana boo boo stuff. All right. But anyway, so like that's what's funny, right? That stuff made me not want to like actually participate in the gaming and I started painting, and then you see the same shit in painting. So, I mean, anyway, let's paint this stupid elf, all right? So, for doing blonde hair, because we know Orlando Bloom had luscious locks, which I'm sure, right, Games Workshop fans were like, why does he have feminine hair? We need to make sure he, you know, whatever. Anyway, that's another joke. So, I always like to do it a little bit differently. We're going to start off with a tone like this, so a nice leathery tone, and then we're going to use a skin tone. Actually, I'm stupid. The colors that we have out are exactly the colors that we're going to use, and then at the end you glaze it yellow and it looks like blonde hair, like actual natural blonde hair. Alright, so we're going to start off with this tone. But yeah, when I see stuff like that, I'm like, guys, this hobby, okay, you forget hobby's a business. Like, at the end of the day, people turn it into a business. So these companies know what's going on. But it's just so funny to think that, like, you know, you thought you were edgy because you played a game that, like, nobody knew what it was. And now that everybody's, like, chilling and having fun. What is the white on the palette? Or is that... So this right here I'm pointing to is just white paint. It's just like a little circle. This is parchment paper beneath it. But it always just cracks me up when I see that, man. It's just, it never fails to just be so depressing. Now, this I don't think is hair. The entire time I thought this was hair, but I don't know where it's coming from, like what it is. So I think that needs to be green. Unfortunately, we're gonna have to go back. But yeah, I mean, I have been around this space for over 20 years. And for over 20 years, everyone has always said the Warhammer 40k guys are weirdos for that exact reason, and it's never changed. I mean, it's getting better, but it's never really changed. So, but we're gonna have fun. That's just the plan. I can enjoy something without interacting with the parts of it that I don't enjoy, and that is the 1000% plan. And if and when inevitably we have trolls show up, like, so one of the first times people think it's not about the business or delusional and living someone else outside the interviews between and worse than the owner of the Tomb Raider franchise, which is yeah. But one of the first times I ever streamed Warhammer content ever, Warhammer 40k, sorry, on my page. This was about 5 years ago. A guy got in my chat and started asking if I would do a commission butt plug for him, and he wouldn't stop. And his, oh, thank you for the camera donation. Thank you so much, James. And he started doing that in my chat, and I'm like, okay, so I banned him from the chat, and then he starts sending me endless emails asking if I would paint a butt plug for him over and over and over. And this was a 40k guy. Like, his username on Twitch had, like, Emperor da-da-da-da-da, like, you know, tied to 40k stuff. So I already know, like, we're dipping into the trash bin. But hopefully, you know, we can be enjoyable for the people that don't act that way. So, yeah, like, he kept asking, but it was obviously he's trolling, right? But that's what he kept asking. And I believe the last thing I said to him was, like, you don't need me to do it, your wife has plenty. I'm pretty sure. And I think that's what made him upset. But I can't... I'm a shit stirrer. Like, what am I supposed to do? I can't, you know... It is in my soul to reply to these people. It is in my soul. What's up, Julio? I saw you. Julio joined the Patreon today. Julio is brand new. And I guess JJ's new here too, right? You said you just found me or whatever? That's awesome. I appreciate you're here, JJ. I hope you're having a good time. Alright, so now we're gonna jump over to just skin tone. And remember, I do not care at all, currently, about, like, the tones that I'm using. I am only invested in the... Sorry, I'm not paying attention to the individual strands of hair. I would rather paint, like, the nice colors underneath, and then at the very end, pick out different parts of the strands. You save a lot of time, and it just looks better. So that's what we're gonna do. Looking at the volume of the hair here, he kind of has like a strange pompadour shape to his hair, because hair definitely doesn't go back like that, but it's okay. So we will end up highlighting kind of up and across the crown, like this. Okay, so we're starting to build that highlight in, and then it will go across the side, and then the back of his head. So it kind of looks weird for now, but don't worry, we're getting there. This is the same way that I like to do fur, feathers. I mean, you already know the deal. The trick, it's so funny actually. I've been scamming you all this whole time. I gotta come clean, right? Anytime we do a class about something and it just turns into me saying, don't worry about the details. Until the end, of course, of course. Okay. Background over here. But yeah, I'm just kidding. I'm not scamming anybody. But anyway, speaking of that, so I am going to start a new crypto coin. It's called the mini coin, and I want all of you to invest. I'm definitely not going to pump and dump. I'm going to hold on to it forever. Reflection here. I'm just going to use the side of the brush to block it in. Right here. Going into the curve a little bit. I'm just kind of sectioning like different reflections I think would exist. Maybe around the back. And again, all of this is just a sketch underneath for when we actually go to the blonde color. Now, what's interesting... Oh my god, you missed it. You missed it big time. If you actually missed it. If you actually missed it. But it happened. It did happen. And it was a big old dumper, dude. It got me heated. Like I said, the back of my knees, I felt sweat drip down the back of my knees. That's how intense we got. What's funny too is I did get messages from like, some other painters sent me messages that are friends with me, like, on Facebook directly. And they're like, Josh, you gotta be careful. I'm like, man, whatever. Whatever, let's go. What's up, Olivier? Olivier Perkins? Somebody sent me a message, hold on. Who is it? PayPal, thank you. Again, James being super nice. Okay. So I'm gonna get some white, mix it in to the skin tone here. Oh my gosh, this week has been crazy, guys. Yeah, so it's off by 150 bucks. Sort of. There's still a chance, so I'm waiting until Friday. It's Karen, you guys have seen her before in the Patreon group. It was her purchase, so... And, dude, Karen literally is so nice. Like, I told her what was going on, and she was like, don't refund the money. And I'm like, no. I am definitely giving you your money back, right? It was like 180 if I'm including the PayPal fee that gets taken out both times, right? But that, you know, she literally told me not to pay her back, and that's crazy. So she is always super nice. She's actually going to be at the painting cabin event we're doing. So shout out to her. Karen also has been a Patreon student forever, and she went to ReaperCon as her first like painting contest for real, and I guess what, 2 years ago. And it was her first time competing, and she won gold, man. She won gold, and then she ended up selling the miniature to the sculptor. It was just like, man, like, what more do you want? So she's a killer. She's a killer. She's a stand-up person, clearly. big time awesome person. But so yeah, package is gone, dude. They didn't scan it in, whatever. But there's a chance, a very small chance, it could still get delivered to her. So I'm gonna wait until like Friday, and if it doesn't, then I'll be giving the money back. And then if it does show up, hopefully she gives me the money back. She would. I'm just kidding. But yeah, so that, it sucks. It is what it is. But you guys have been beyond supportive. It just really, not only does it help me out in general, right? Because I had this added cost. But I didn't really talk about it on camera. But the business that Sydney had gotten the new job for and was doing great with, literally went out of business, laid her off and were laying other people off. They couldn't pay payroll. And so things got really stressful about a week ago. And then, of course, my camera breaks, which means the income then that I have is now in jeopardy with Patreon, yada, yada, yada. And it has just been an extremely tough week or two. So, I really appreciate everyone being patient with the 3D print orders. I know there's a handful of you that have late orders literally right now. And then there are people that put in orders over the last few days. And I do appreciate that. But yeah, it's been a lot to deal with, guys. It's just funny. It's like, dude, for real, like how can I even deal with it? So now we have our nice little halo effect there on top of his head. Look how dumb that looks, right? But trust me, we're gonna convert it into yellow and it will look like some reflective pink hair. Marigold yellow hair. So that's what I'm using. Nice yellow. We're gonna thin it down, glaze it on top, and then build it up from there. So yeah, it's been really cool. But I will say, obviously, the fund here, you guys have been beyond supportive and amazing, more so than we ever expected. I literally was like, when I did it, I was like, hey, even if I have to pay, $400 and whatever dollars, at least the interest will cut it down, and it won't be too bad if people are able to donate. I literally didn't even think I would get 50% of the way there. So, because I literally feel like you guys already do so much to support me and like try and keep me sane with everything that happens and whatever, and it's always surprising to me. So always big thank you. Always big thanks. So you can see that zenithal showing through. Zenithal. You can see the work that we did previously starting to show through here. The highlight on top of it. And I am applying this too pretty much on everything. So even the darker tan tone, whatever, you name it. This is a very easy way to get very natural looking blonde hair. If you want to paint like, the very illustrative old school style, then obviously you should go up onto that. Look forward to these streams. So, oh, well, thank you. Man, like, there have been a few conversations I've had with people where, as silly as it sounds, I have to tell them, like, well, not silly to us because we get it, right? Hey, J Basic. Like, I know what's going on, but I do tell people, like, hey, like, there are people that look forward to hanging out, and they will make plans, or like with Patreon, if I have to reschedule, I feel really bad because people literally are scheduling, stuff around when I'm available to do things and when I'm streaming and whatever. Like, I take it for granted as much as anybody gets used to whatever, wanna become famous? Nah, you should go sell your primes to... I'm not gonna... maybe one day I'll just say the names of the people that buy followers that I know of because they've literally told me they do. One of these days. But I've stirred the pot enough today. But anyway, I take it for granted as much as like, and I've said this before. People can say that they really love my painting, and that I'm a great painter, whatever. They say they love my style. All of that's cool. But one mean comment literally fucks my day up. So that's where I'm at, right? Like, I take that for granted, but when things like this happen, you know, it shocks me every single time when people are supportive and whatever. I'm just like, really? Okay, I can't believe it. So, all right, so now I'm going in. I've mixed in some of the white into the marigold yellow, and then now I'm going to go in and we're going to actually sort of structure the hair and the highlights on the hair. Like, literally, there are living rent-free in my head, which is never healthy, but it's definitely a part of whatever mental illness struggles I have with, like, anxiety and stuff, right? I literally have, JJ, okay, I'll tailor in the language. But I literally have comments that people have left in my head that just stay there. Like, random negative comments. Oh, why'd you do that? What just happened? Uh-oh. This is new. What is this game? Oh, right here, sorry. I wonder why that happened. We haven't ever had that happen yet. Huh. Intriguing, whatever's happening. Maybe I'm just, like, not... Maybe it'll do that if I don't touch the camera. I thought I turned the auto off. Either way, we'll figure that out later. But yeah, there are people's comments that they've left on things that I will always remember, and it's so stupid. So dumb, but I literally don't forget that stuff. Which isn't good, right? Like, it's not a good thing. Like, you really shouldn't focus on negativity, but unfortunately, even if it's not negative, actually, so the comments that bother me the most are ones that just, like, don't really make sense. Like, if someone is just kind of, like, critiquing something without, like, real anything behind it, it just eats me up. It's funny, but that's how it is. So I'm going to highlight, or just right at the widow's peak here. And then we're going to branch it around to the back. Make nice shiny hair. Because obviously Legolas, being an elf, is super good with his self-care routine and moisturizing his hair. I hear he uses elven mayo to do all of his hair care. Yeah, I think, so what's interesting is I've never had the camera shut off like that, and normally it shuts off like that if there hasn't been any like signal back and forth sent or it hasn't done anything. So that's very interesting that if it did that. I do have the auto off timer turned off, but I feel like there's probably a firmware trick that I can do. But yeah, I think if I focus the camera and stuff, since it activates the actual, like, mechanisms in the camera, it won't do that. But that's so weird that it did that. I mean, that's the first time it's shut off. I gotta figure that out. Because I know this camera, like, isn't supposed to do that. That's... The EOS Rebel series is known for being okay and not shutting off. We'll get there eventually, guys. It's never a dull moment in the struggle of painting. Now we're getting there. This side is pretty neglected, so we will go in on it. Oh, come on. I have so many fans on in here, it's so hot. Last night we tested out a new thing in the room to try and keep it cool. We have this huge, like, it's like 2.6 gallon cool mist humidifier for the bedroom. And so last night I put a ton of ice in it, and then put a fan behind it, and it literally dropped the temperature in that room like you would not believe. So I ended up buying a bunch of they're like 8 inches long but 1.25 inches wide, like pillars that are ice packs. And so we're just gonna drop them in the old humidifier and keep the room super cold. But I wish I could do that in here because it gets hot. This month and next month, historically speaking, I just made a swamp cooler. Yeah, I know. But this room was the worst. Like last year we had the AC people come out, and the first AC guy came out and he was like, dude, I don't know why they installed your cooling ducts the way that they did, but they're like, they have like a huge, they're not the same size, and they have a gigantic one going to the living room and kitchen, and then these like tiny little baby ones going into the bedroom, so you're like never gonna have good air circulation, they gotta be replaced. And I was like, awesome, that means finally we're gonna have like AC, and you know, I was excited. So then they send out different guys, and the different guys are like, oh, well your landlord said we're only allowed to do warranty work and nothing else, so we're not allowed to change the duct size, but we'll like swap out, you know, we'll swap out whatever vent you have in your room. And I'm like, I love it. I love it. It's like a car mechanic telling you, like, hey, here's exactly what's wrong with your car, and then suddenly being like, oh, I'm not allowed to fix that. We're just gonna do something else. But hey, we signed another lease, so shout out to my landlords. Shout out to all the landlords out there. Actually, don't shout out to landlords, but you get it. You know, I'll have to make a post in a similar vein about landlords, just like the 40K guys. But you guys remember when we moved in, like the internet was all messed up. It is because the wiring in the walls. I mean, it was just super fun, super cool. Okay, I'm done with this. Now, I'm gonna go back in very gently, and I'm gonna take some actual factual rust brown on its own. We're not doing marigold, or sorry, no, we're not doing auburn shadow. We are doing marigold. And I'm going to mix this in a little bit with our marigold yellow right here. Look at that. It's like a nice coral color almost. We're going to end up putting it into the hair in the shadows. So... Oh, did I tell you guys about R&E Studio? Yeah. So the other drama that was happening yesterday was R&E Studio, like, literally telling me I can't get files that I've paid for. But whatever. They finally replied yesterday, and they were like, oh, okay, looks like Greg is going to fix it for you, after I literally told them that's what he was doing. It's so stupid, guys. So dumb. But so that issue will be resolved. It doesn't help me at all, because I still had to do the work to get the orders out, but it is what it is. I just want a little bit of a more orangey tint in some of the side shadows of the head here. Which is exactly what we're doing. It'll be more evident down here when we're kind of going in the in-between shadows. Kind of. I feel like it's not really showing up. But it's okay. Alright, Legolas. What we need to do here is kind of bridge this brighter color right here. So I mixed some of the color that we just used as a wash with marigold yellow. And I'm just going over, where's my focal point? There it is. I'm just going over kind of that middle area. I'm gonna go a little bit brighter. Bridge it into our bright highlights there in the front. I just don't want to go too far, too fast. I know I say it all the time. Too far, too fast. Ain't nothing stronger than family. Okay. All right. What do we? We got some leather. We got all kinds of stuff. So let's work on that. Always love a good leather session. All right. Where's just? I feel like we haven't. Ooh. I feel like we haven't used intense brown for anything in so long. Yeah, because this isn't hot. I just wanted to make sure it wasn't like an overheat function. I mean, the camera's warm, but not anything it hasn't been. Alright, so we're going to grab just some of this regular old brown. I'm going to add a little bit of the tan skin, just kind of neutralize it out. And let's get to work. Now then, you know, I don't think Legolas is necessarily going to have a bunch of dirty leather, but you know what? He needs texture somewhere. So that's exactly what I'm doing. I'm going to be going in on the edges, little scritches, little scratches, little dots, little bops. Okay. A little bit like, oh my god, I love it. I love it. What more do you want, man? Okay. Oh, wow. So it's so humid that my asthma just kicked in. Isn't that special? That's very rare for me. Normally, my asthma only kicks in if I'm sick. Or bad allergies. I do have an inhaler in here somewhere. Okay. We don't have to refocus. I was going to zoom out, but still doing baby details here. We may go brighter. Actually, let's super zoom. You want to super zoom? Get a case of the zoomies here. Okay, we got a bag. We got a little leather pouch here. Okay, cool. So let's do skin tone into the brown. I'm going to add a little bit of the marigold and some white. Boom. There we go. So it's kind of just like a creamy, you can put some milk in some coffee. Okay. Here we go. Sorry, wrong button. This is going to be shaky at first. Please believe. Believe in the magic here. Alright. So I'm going to weather it more closer to the buckle. Like so. And the buckle needs to be painted anyway, so we'll get in there and add something different. And then right up on this side, barely, because it's so much in shadow. Okay. Here. This side. Ooh, man, it's hard to stay in frame when it's so close, but people said they liked seeing it, so here we are. Here we are, here we are. Okay? So now if we, what else do we have? We have this little section right here. Bro, you're not even a smooth painter, dude. You got like brush strokes, dude. Are you even good? You try hard? You try hard? Whoop, whoop, whoop. Where is he? Right here? Okay. So I need to section this out. Right here, this little edge. Tip of my brush is dry, so I really should stop. Yep. Clean the brush. Reapply. I love the green that we got on his little vest. It looks so vibrant. It's crazy. Alright, so let's section that a little bit. We got that right there. Okay, cool. So now let's move out so you can see when it's not in ultra, ooh, this hurts my brain mode. Oh my god, I'm sorry. I know it wiggles so much. Boop. There we go. Alright. So you can see what it looks like from still really up close, right? But that's all of the wear and tear on that leather. It looks pretty good. Do you want to do a bag? Should we do his satchel? So I'm going to take rust brown. I'm going to mix it in with some skin and whatever this is. And I've just got a very weird color here. I don't know what it looks like really, but kind of coral color. A little something like that. A little bit shiny, so it's kind of hard to see on camera. But that's fine because this is all fake. And you're living in a simulation. It's actually called the simulacrum. You can read about it. Just kidding. Nothing's a coincidence. So we're going to go ahead and highlight up the top little flap here. He secured the bag. Alright, so we have a little bag there, a little bit of action on it. We have some boots. Do we need to do some booterinos here? Hey, let's do some green, like subtle green highlight. So I'm just grabbing whatever green I got. Gotta adjust the zoom or the camera goes to sleep. As we found out. I know I can fix that though. Because it's not supposed to be doing that. Well, what I'll say is, when I changed the setting, I was trying to look at it upside down and backwards, and I didn't like actually do it through the camera unplugged, so that's why I'm sure I picked the wrong thing. Alright, so I'm going to take Intense Brown here up top. Yeah, you can't even see it. We're going to go to the new neighborhood here on the palette. That's Intense Brown. I'm going to add a 50-50 mix of the green. Look at that. Maybe a little bit of skin tone in there, a little bit more intense brown, and now I'm feeling good. So I've got a, honestly, a diaper color here. We're going to go in on the booterinos. And I swear, oh, that's a cat hair right there. I just skipped over. You can barely see it. But I swear these are the exact same boots that they used on multiple sculpts. Like, I'm pretty sure someone else in the exact same set has the exact same boot, but I ain't mad about it. Volume highlight, so I'm not going all the way across the top. I'm only focusing on the edge, like this right here. Boom. Boom. Low cut. Across the top, like so. Look at that. Arthur adding to the texture. Yeah, I mean, there is a good chance, you know, when I ship you something, it's got Arthur hair, Garrus hair, Tally hair, maybe some of mine, you know. Stressful. I got a lot of testosterone going on, you know. It's losing my hair out here. I ain't trying to take no pro-peace shit. Look at that boot, man. Y'all want to talk about boots? I've never owned a pair of boots in my life. And I was born in Texas. Raised in Texas, man. Now I've had like I take that back. I've had a Chelsea boot, but you know what I'm talking about. I love a good Chelsea boot with a monk strap. Really, any dress shoe with a monk strap is like, I'm there. I'm there, dude. I had a really nice pair back when I used to work in places where, you know, a suit was required. Even though that switched, and anyway, by the time I was like working with startups and stuff, I would wear like a pair of Yeezys or like rare Jordans with a suit, and it was pretty much on brand. I was, well, I don't know if I should have the conversation. I'm gonna refrain from the conversation I was about to start. It's not anything painting related. But I was about to be like, yeah, Sydney and I were talking about something last night where she said blah blah blah, and I was like, no way. About it was anyway. I'll save that for Patreon. That exclusive Patreon content. Look at how it goes purple in the back. Well, I wonder, did we wash? Oh yeah, we did do purple. Or did we do a purple airbrush? I don't know. There is definitely some purple involved on this Mini, and I'm not sure where it's coming from. I think we did or was it get all the hot gossip? Okay. I think that boot looks pretty good. That is definitely distressed. Which again, I don't think Legolas is really like, you know, out here trying to keep his boots perfect, but you never know. He's like, I will not be allowed to go back to Rivendell if my boots are scuffed. Was that a good Orlando Bloom? Was that good? I don't know. I'm sure a Lord of the Rings gatekeeper would be like, first of all, the elves don't have accents. First of all. Oh my god, where's my... Okay, there it is. Volume highlight across the edge, just like the other side. I mean, it's kind of cool that when you apply a volume highlight correctly, it literally just looks like it's shining, right? Like it's... You can't tell if it's the paint or if it's just the light hitting that angle. It's usually a good thing. But anywho's, I appreciate you guys hanging out today. Remember, next month on the, I believe, 21st, we have our airbrush class that we are doing. There already are people signed up, so that is exciting. I know you guys have been asking for it, waiting for it, having to remind me constantly, like, Josh, what could you possibly be doing at night that's killing your short-term memory? Like, we constantly have to remind you these things. It's just awful. Just what's going on? And I'm like, I know, I'm sorry, guys, but that one's available. I believe it's on the 21st or it's the 18th, I forget which, so sorry about that. But I know then the following month on the 28th, we're doing the advanced, or whatever. I believe I called it the Airbrush Extravaganza-thon Palooza. And that one is going to be about all the different ways that I utilize it, you know, in prep, planning, certain techniques, non-metallic metal, OSL. If you want, I can do the speed reading description. Of course, I'll probably do that at the end of the day today, just for fun, because it's entertainment. All right, so we backed that out. Now then, in order to make it look like leather, I mean, it already is appearing like leather, right? But because we were using green, we don't want green boots. They don't look like they're green, right? But come on. So we need something sort of cool tone. So probably I'm just going to use oiled leather directly. Now then, it may not be bright enough So I'm probably going to highlight it up a little bit, or sorry, mix up the color with some white. Right here. There it is. Maybe a little bit of yellow. There it is. Perfect. Okay. Let's go in. You know, I could be very weird. So this is already a very warm tone on the boot. I could highlight it up with a gray that's more blue, and you would have very good results from doing so. And depending on how this looks, I might bail and do that. Of course, I have no plan ever with what I'm doing. Explains a lot, I'm sure. There it is. Is that bright? Is that enough? Is that doing it? I need to see this dry before I decide. What does this look like? It's like nothing. What happened? Alright. Okay, camera. I'm slamming my head into it. Alright, so I'm just taking a lot more yellow, a lot more white, mixing. Oh, you can't even see the damn color. There you go. Try that again. There it is. Shiny boot side. And then I'm just going to kind of pick some corners. Little dot action, little top of the edge here. A little bit of the rim of the boot. Alright, onto the side. Now then, the middle of the strapola there definitely needs a little bit of color. So do that. Pushing towards the left there to keep that little gradient. And then on this reflection, I'm actually going to go to the left. Wait, did I say left? I meant right? Or pushing from the left? Gosh, guys, I don't know directions. What's happening? Painter brain. Oh look, there's the hair. I was able to rip that side out. I'm not going to highlight the interior of the boot there just because obviously it's more in shadow, so that side would be brighter. And then over here we got the very tip of the boot and then that side. So let's have fun with that. What's funny is not the other day, but a while back, I was at my parents' place and I saw the John Wick that I painted for my dad. And I had forgotten I did like the best black leather boots I've ever done in my life. And they literally look like it's patent black leather. And all I did was take black paint and then white and then do just solid reflection and then paint it with clear, gloss varnish. And they look sick. But obviously that's very specific application. But it's a good tip in case anybody needs that. Literally hardwire in your bright reflection and then just do gloss and light will do the rest of the heavy lifting for you. Unless you're looking at a miniature completely in the dark, then what are you doing? It's not normal. Stop doing that. This Valentine's Day, I was thinking about it. I was trying to think of funny cards I could give Sydney, and one of them I was joking about because I use it all the time. I'd be like, "You're like Phthalo Green. I can't live without you." Hold on. Okay, I just thought of a terrible one. Okay, I gotta write that down for later. It's too funny. Very inappropriate. We're not. I know that JJ is here with a niece. I can't. Sorry. Come back to the hobby when you're a little bit older. Oh, that's me gatekeeping. I'm sorry. All right. So here's the. No, I'm kidding. I keep it pretty okay. I keep it pretty straight-laced here usually. I'm cussing a little bit more lately, but I'm not, you know, doing streams like for anyone. So. Company-wise, so I don't really care anymore. Oh, okay. Well, there's definitely a Zenithal joke that is just asking to be made that's dirty. Okay. Alright, cool. I like that. Let's zoom out. It should be... Okay, yeah. So it looks like leather. I mean, yeah, cool. It has a different texture than everything else we've got. Let's paint his jeggings. Shall we? So we're just going to use military blue. This is going to be pretty easy. I'm just going to do volume highlights on the leg. Top of the knee to you. Back of the calf. Okay. This side you can actually see exactly where I'm going to highlight because I always use my light source as my physical reference here. Which is interesting. I mean, I still get the same results. So, like, being on camera definitely affects the way I, like, position a miniature whenever I'm working on it. But it does help because I'm always positioning it to be from, like, a straight-on view. And that allows me to cheat a little bit with my light source. But it's usually a good trick. Look at that. Boom. So now we back out. But this, I don't know if this should be so disconnected. Let me go in here like an unpaid bill and reconnect it. There we go. Down around the edge, at the top of the boot to you. Right there. Yeah. Okay. Okay, we're doing it to it, guys. So what do we got? We got a bow, and then we've got legging. All right, I guess we gotta highlight this up a little bit. I'm gonna take a little bit of skin tone, a little bit of white. I'm working right there. I'm just gonna go a little bit bright. Oh, what about some green? I'm gonna mix some green in there. Did you like the way I said that? What about some green? Who doesn't love some green? A little bit brighter. You can't even tell. Okay. More white. I love it when I undermix. I don't know what's happened. I've commented on this before, but recently I'm like undermixing my highlights in terms of the amount of white or like brightness. I don't know if it's my eyesight that's doing that, if it's the lighting in the room that's doing that, if it's, I don't know what it is, but it's not a problem, right? I mean, it's actually a good thing to be doing that because it allows me to just build up over time even slower. But yeah, I'm not sure what sort of flipped the switch, but I've been, like, I'll mix up a color and it's like essentially exactly the same as like a highlight showing through before or whatever it is. Very confusing to me. Oh yeah, back here. We'll do a little bit. Boom, just a little bit. That didn't make any sense. Hold on. Come on. Come on. There you go. Now that his little in-between skirt is supposed to be white, so you know I hate painting pure white, so we're not gonna do. We're gonna avoid that. I'm gonna take intense brown, which is right up here. Oh god, why am I doing this to myself? Hold on. Okay. I had like my bendable camera mount like way on top where I was trying to work. What is up, Josh? Boom. It's his slip. He's like, don't look at my elf bits, man. He's like, they glow in the moonlight. Alright, so I got that. Skin tone, mix it in. A little bit of white. There we are. Thin? Thin? No, I'm a bit heavy. Alright, we got this. Okay. Nice and easy little highlighting. I don't want to go all the way to white. I just feel like it's going to distract from the rest of his outfit. So I think that's as bright as we're going to go. He's just going to have like a really dusty, musty tunic. Hi, welcome to the musty tunic. My name's Josh. I'll be taking care of you this evening. Our special is grog with 1 melting ice cube and unknown elf liquor. But you can keep the cup of the unknown. Leather underpants. Oh man, you know, I know I'm not gonna yuck anybody's yum, but I wouldn't want to do it. My thighs are chafing just thinking about it. Talk about chub rub, dude. That's why elves are so surly. They're like, oh man, I don't want to jump in the water. I'll get all wet. They're like, it's all good. I got leather underwear on. I'll get in there. Look at that nice little highlight. Boom, boom. That makes me want to do the middle more, but we're not. We're not. Hey, you guys want to do a dagger? Let's do it. This will be easy peasy lemon squeeze. All right, so military blue, whatever kind of gray blue you want. I'm going to do this half. On the bottom is going to be our bright side. Come on, non-metallic metal. Easy. Easy. Highlight it up. Outline the top. Remember, non-metallic metal, you got to outline every edge. Otherwise, it won't look like a reflective surface. That's rookie mistake 101. There are people that will argue that you also have to highlight all the way up to white. You really don't. You just need to get brighter than like the average level of the rest of your metal, whatever you painted on the mini, right? It's kind of like OSL. You need it to be brighter than pretty much everything else on the mini. As long as it doesn't blow out the contrast, it will work out okay. All right, so that's a good base color. So we will continue to highlight it up. I didn't really know if I liked the Legolas mini at all, but let's turn it out. Grab white, mix it in. After this application, I will go more of a like skin tone, but this may be so bright that it doesn't matter. We'll see. I got no way to tell until I do it. Like I discussed 2 seconds ago, my mixing is like under all the time, so let's find out. Sharp like a pencil, paint like a pencil. Pretty good. Now then, on that opposite side, because you can't really see it, I'm not like super concerned with the bright side of it, but we will put a little bit of like bluish gray or something at the very top, so that way there's at least a little bit of a transition into a brighter tone. Look right up here. We want it to be the opposite side. Why? Illustratively speaking, that's just how it's been done. Always. Cool. Now then, there's a little piece of yellow fleck right here, driving me crazy. So let me just get rid of that. Okay, I feel like the edge of the dagger just is like almost not there, so let me fix that. Right on this side, I don't want to go too thick. I want to create the illusion of it being skinnier than it is, because it's a big old fat edge. I mean, look, right? So this is the illusion. It connects. It does. There's no overhang. It just literally connects with a flat plane to the rest of the leg. So I'm like trying to distract your eye orb from looking and going, oh, that's not a dagger edge. That's just a big old block of printed resin, man. So not only am I painting, I'm also doing magic tricks. For my next trick, I will pull Arthur out of a paint pot. How about that? This side. I'm the David Blaine of me. No, I would much rather be the Chris Angel. Mind freak. I'm just kidding. Oh wait, what was the Ungo Gablogian or whatever? What was the Frank Reynolds, Danny DeVito had like a mind reader or like illusionist persona or something from It's Always Sunny? I forget the character, but the name was so strange. I'm gonna get a little bit more white involved here for ultra highlight. You know, I had a cat in here with me this whole time. Oh, she's gone. No tally. She had to get a bath today, and she looked like a little rat. Running around the house like a little rat. So we need to tint that blade. We can't just like let it sit there. Boring. I'm gonna grab phthalo green. Because we have to. I'm just gonna do a little like odd shadow. There we go. I mean, it may not be visible. Well, if I like zoom in, you'll be able to tell. But here we go. So I am going in and I'm just layering it there. You can see it nice and easy. Just tinting a little bit. I mean, who cares, right? Someone's going to look at it and they're going to go, oh, that's neat. It's got some color. And it's clearly a dagger, right? Like, I think that's... Sometimes people get caught up on, like, what color am I allowed to use when I'm, like, adjusting a highlighter or whatever? anything, right? I mean, that's kind of the trick. Like, whoever's looking at your miniature is going to look at the object and go, I know what that is, right? You're not going to, like, confuse them. Maybe. I don't know. So the cloak we really have neglected completely, and I, like, do not have... You know, and the hair is not good right there either. Okay, hold on. Let's do a little maintenance. I didn't like that edge. Oops, sorry. Too loose. There we go. But, so, cloak, heavily neglected. We then have the arrows, and then whatever. This is supposed to be cloak too, so... I do feel like the spandex is a little bit off, but I'm not too concerned. Let me go ahead and paint the other small details here, like the buckle, etc. There's a little elven brooch. Is it a brooch or a brooch? I don't know. I feel like I've had that conversation in my life. What's up, Todd? That was like my D&D group. I was calling a brazier a brazier or whatever, right? Like the thing that holds fire. And Katie, one of my players, was like, that's not the word you're looking for. And I said, oops, I'm not smart. Alright, we gotta stop talking about Todd because he's in the chat. Whatever you do, Todd, don't go back and rewatch this video 5 minutes in, because we definitely didn't talk about you. Don't do it. Oh, actually, I'm not sure what we were talking about at 5 minutes in, so that was a joke. I don't want him going back and being like, is he talking about me with these people? Definitely not. Oh, Tally. Oh, it's not Tally. Yo, check it out. Look who's here. Sconce and scones. Oh, well, that's dangerous. Arthur. Arthur. Hey, buddy. Hold on. Hi. Whoa. Big cat alert. You been sleeping, big man? You been sleeping all day, big man? What are you doing, bud? Yeah, you gotta say hi to Arthur. Look, this is his normal position when I hold him. Hold on. Do you see the whole body? Hold on, look at the whole body. Do you see how big this cat is, guys? I'm not kidding when I say he's big. Look at this. Look at these beans, man. Alright, say goodbye, Arthur. Goodbye, Arthur. Alright, have fun. You don't need this? I cleared that off. Let me get up here. Oh, he's mad. He's mad. His radar's going. Whenever his radar's going, his tail's like... Bye, Arthur. Good seeing you. That was a little bit too bright. Let's tint it. Oh gosh, look at my hand. Look at the hair. Look at the hair. Guys, thanks so much for hanging out today. I feel like me making the 40K post and then having everybody be like, yep, really was a very just like refreshing thing to happen today. Gave me some juice for the road. Because I'm leaving you all. You will never see me again. I have tricked you all into helping me pay off this camera. What's up, Sarah? Oh yeah, Sarah, you were already in the chat. I saw you. And I'm gonna become a road photographer. And I'm gonna buy a year-long... Oh, what did I just do there, Josh? You big... Gazorp. Alright, I'm gonna buy a year-long camping pass to Yosemite, and you will never see me again. How about that? Is that acceptable? Is that okay? You've all been scammed. You want to pay Warhammer? Never happy with the prices of the minis. Well, always remember... So, the first... There are two things. So it is expensive, Todd. Yes, it is expensive. And, you know, you do see people with these huge armies, yada, 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 right? Really big stuff, obviously worth a ton of money. Cool. You don't actually need that if you're interested in playing the game, okay? It is what it is. Like, people can spend as little or as much as slowly as they want if you're someone that is only gonna, like, collect one little army that you like and maybe a couple other things you think are cool, right? That's statement one. Statement two, part two of it, right, is that Warhammer miniatures are always tied to the gameplay. So, yeah, like, so, like, you know, this is one single miniature, and maybe he doesn't. This comes from, like, a $25 box, and I'll go into that here in a second, too. But if this guy was, like, a crazy commander, he may be $40 for, like, one little miniature, right? Instead of you get 5 for 30 or whatever the case is. Which is that's not that bad, right? That's like $7-ish a mini. That's not too insane. But, you know, if it's something that's really good in the game, it's going to be expensive because it's tied to the value and the points in the game, whatever. You know, that's part two of the statement. But then part three, Games Workshop does have a ton of costs, and they pay people, and they reward their employees. They have benefits. They're salaried, right? These are the store managers. Yes, they have to fill sales quotas. I know it's annoying, but that's retail. That's how retail works. And they get profit share. If Games Workshop makes a killing, at the end of the year, guess what? People get a check. They get a check. And they're like, hey, we made a shit ton of money. Here's a little check. Thanks for working for us, right? So, a little bit different. A little bit different than, you know, other companies that I know for a fact pay, you know, $9 an hour to 80% of their staff, and then barely an appropriate amount to everybody else. You know what I mean? So it's a little bit different. Their prices go somewhere, and the quality is there. Other than maybe there are a couple companies that get close to the plastic quality that Games Workshop has, right? The pose, dynamicism, you know, all that stuff. It goes into the cost. They also control their production. So, like, they're vertically integrated, meaning they're also, like, their prices also pay for the cost of them, like, running factories, mold creation, things like that, right? Very well-oiled machine. The production of the books are really good, whatever. You can spend a ton of money if you pay attention to the people that are complaining about, oh my god, another book came out, oh, this new unit came out, now my old unit's no bad, no good, I gotta buy new ones, whatever. Those are just very competitive players, right? If you're just hanging out and playing with people, you don't have to worry about that, man. You can just buy a little army, be happy, okay? So that's kind of the deal. But there are other things that you can look into that make Warhammer miniatures not that expensive. If you like Warhammer fantasy stuff, if you like the Age of Sigmar stuff, look into Warhammer Underworlds, okay? Those are all little warbands for their, like, board game version of Warhammer. It's actually pretty fun. It's like a weird little deck builder. It's pretty cool. Not a bad game at all. It's very popular. They have a ton of stuff out for it, right? But those are actually some of the cheapest and coolest little collections of minis you can buy if you want to just, like, have fun trying stuff out. The miniatures, as well, aren't too crazy to put together. They're usually mostly push fit, things like that. So that's a good entry point to, like, trying out. And they have it for almost every faction. So it's a good entryway into the hobby with that. And if you want 40k stuff, you can look into Kill Team miniatures. Now, I say that, they also just announced, like, hey, we're redoing Kill Team, and you know, we're changing the way it works, and your model selection, whatever. So, a little bit different there. But, it's also a cheaper way to get minis. And then, On top of all of that, remember, unless you are afraid of like trying to buy something that you think will sell out or be hard to get, Warcry also. Warcry is just a little bit different because it's like only like demons or something, right? And the sort of, it's hard to explain without like getting into the idea. It's sort of like cults that exist that worship different chaos gods, whatever. But it's cool, really neat sculpts. And they're very like vastly different than sort of like the aesthetic of other armies, whatever, so it's cool. So those are always different ways to do it. But remember, unless you are specifically trying to buy off the Games Workshop website, which doesn't really have a benefit unless you're like afraid you won't be able to get something because it'll disappear. But honestly, the last release of the new Warhammer starter set tells you it may not be that hard. Like, they've kind of listened to people of saying, hey, we don't like having to buy stuff from scalpers. Could you please produce more product, whatever? And they did. So either way. But online, people sell Warhammer minis heavily discounted. It's like close to a 20% MSRP immediate discount. So if you look at websites like Game Nerds or Miniature Market, I mean, really any website or even a local store, sometimes local stores sell at a discount as well, nearly 20% or more. That also helps the price. So, a get started collecting box that would normally be $100, you can buy for $72 free shipping all day long on eBay. Same product, brand new, right? So always keep that in mind. If you don't know that is an option for you, that also, kind of can get looked over. And then when you find out, oh, it's actually not that bad, then it's all good. Then the other way, if you want to just dip your toes, your little wigglers into Games Workshop stuff, just go on eBay and kind of look into like whatever the newest big starter sets were, and you'll find people that bought a bunch of the starter sets, and then they will just sell you individual units or miniatures from those sets themselves. And usually, and I'll say usually because there are exceptions, but usually that is a great way to just buy one or two things at a discount because the boxes were already a good bundle price, and then, them reselling one unit out of it is a good deal for them, so you get a nice discount. So those are always good ways to go about it. Or you can just buy used stuff if you want to. I mean, I don't really mess with buying used stuff. No reason. I just don't, right? I don't know. I mean, I don't really care what stuff looks like in terms of like mold lines, or if it's been painted, I can strip the paint, whatever. But those are always options for you if you've been interested. I know Shay, who's not here now, he's always like busy during the day. Shay literally wakes up so early. He messages me. Like today he messaged me I think at 4 something in the morning. But Shay is the guy that like split one of the Dominion boxes with me and is sponsoring some of the Dominion paint-alongs as well. But he had never bought a Games Workshop product, and then he got that box and he's like, wow, I didn't know that's what I was getting into, right? So, it's just one of those things. They have different stigmas for different reasons, but knowing what I know now and having experienced different things in the hobby and the industry, like, their pricing is always definitely consumer and game driven, but at the same time I do think about it in terms of, are they taking care of their people? And I mean, there's a reason why, like, Games Workshop does paint jobs and planning years to at least 6 months ahead of time, right? And those leaks don't really come out. Leaks usually come out about content like because they're doing it on purpose, and it comes out, like maybe a week or two ahead of when something new is announced. So you would have to assume a company that is so popular and things like new releases are so exciting, if the employees aren't being taken care of, don't you think that those employees would be like, yeah, guess what? There's this coming out in like October, like whatever, right? They would spill the beans. They don't spill the beans. People that are happy have no reason to sabotage a company, right? I mean, you would think. But I always look at that and I think of that as an indicator of like, hey, they got to be doing something, because not everybody that works for them is obsessed with Warhammer. I mean, as much as they can, they try and hire people that love Warhammer, because you obviously have to know about it. But do you really think Anne in accounting is like, yo, dog, I just painted up my Khorne Berserkers. You trying to throw it out at lunch? Like, no, Pam in accounting is not doing that, right? But she likes her job, and she's not like making $10 on the side. Mordheim is Warhammer like smaller scale. Used to play Remains play instead of Warhammer Remains. Yeah, I love Mordheim. What's crazy is like I wish they would re-release that game. I wish they would re-release Hi, Arthur. I wish they would re-release Battlefleet Gothic. I wish they would re-release Man of War. Yeah, I really like Malifaux too, man. I don't know what happened to that company. It sucks. Like, Weird was such a cool alternate route with minis, and then they tried to do the whatever other side. I thought that was going to be really cool, but then the production of those miniatures wasn't really good, and then people were really upset about that, and then they ended up tanking money into that, and then I don't know, Malifaux 3.0 came out or whatever it is, and there was like zero promotion with that, and people didn't know what to expect. I mean, I feel like that company just had issues, right? Like, I feel like kind of like Privateer Press and War Machine, they pushed a content creator. Well, let me delete this stream and take back everything. But no, like I said, I feel like it was kind of like they didn't have enough awareness out about the new version of Malifaux and things like that. That's been a game I've always been interested in. I wanted to play the Bayou Goblins. I love like the samurai looking faction, like the undead samurais, Lopan or whatever his name is, his beard, like all that stuff I've followed forever. So, and I have some Malifaux minis here on Sprue. I bought years ago. I haven't even touched them. So, something I'm interested in. And I would hope, if I reach out to him and we work out a deal, that... I'm too jaded. I've been screwed by too many gaming companies. Man, I'm like, I don't trust anything until I can taste it. But I do like their stuff. I think it's cool. I really wanted Through the Breach, or not Through the Breach, but you know what I'm saying. I wanted their other side stuff to be a big hit because I thought the concept was cool. I thought the armies looked really cool, but it just didn't really hit the way I thought. I mean, I almost backed the Kickstarter. I almost late backed the Kickstarter. I tried to get my buddy Will, that doesn't even live in the U.S. I tried to get him excited about it. He lives in Japan. I maybe see him once every year or two, and I'm like, yo, you want to buy this? I was excited, man. I think it's cool stuff, but never did anything with it. So, you play any more Vaesen? Yeah, we did. Did I talk about the giant game? So essentially, what I did with the story was there was a ash tree wife, which is a kind of like an angry wood spirit that lives in an ash tree, and she had 3 women kill their husbands under mind control, essentially. The 3 husbands had different positions in this town that were in charge of expanding and clearing an old forest that people in the town would make an offering to, because that's where the ash tree wife lived, right? To keep the forest strong and keep giving them good wood. That's funny. But the industry in the town was woodworking and logging, right? So it all kind of tied together. So the players were, doing a whodunit of why did these women kill their husbands and what's going on and where are they, and they're, all that good stuff. And then it turned into them figuring it all out. They went to the ash tree wife, and boom, they ran into a crazy giant. I know I shared the picture of the very quickly painted version of that miniature. I literally only had 30 minutes to work on it, but I think it looked cool. And what's funny is, so they kill the ash tree wife, or whatever, they start attacking her. And then they learned that with an ash tree wife, the way to banish her is you have to nail 7 iron nails into the roots of the tree, and it will banish her and kill her completely. So they started doing this, and she starts shrieking at the top of her lungs, and then suddenly the tree that she is living in comes up out of the ground, and it is a giant. And the giant itself is like made out of trees and like looks really cool. And so when that happened, the players were like, bye, and they just dipped, right? And they were like, we gotta go home, we gotta figure out how to kill a giant. So now they understand, right? Like, kind of like, okay, so we need to figure out how to banish stuff, we need to get clues, we need to do whatever. So they've been doing a good job figuring things out and had a lot of fun. And then we've just had to reschedule like every week. So I think maybe next weekend, I don't think it's this upcoming weekend. Maybe it is, actually. I take that back. But I don't know if we're going to be playing Vaesen if we do get together this weekend, because it was my buddy Parker's birthday, and then it was also my friend Katie's birthday in between our last sessions. And I want to do a one-shot. I keep saying like one-shot D&D game, but we're actually using the Vasen mechanics of just rolling a 6-sided die, and if you get a 6, whatever you try to do works, and you get like multiple dice if you're better at certain things. But I want to do a one-shot game, and I don't know if Sydney can hear me, but the idea is that everyone is essentially from the future, and they have different skills, and they had different professions and careers, right? And they somehow get sent back to prehistoric times, and hilarity ensues. So they have to survive, right? But it's one of those things where I want to do this one shot, and it should be pretty entertaining, and I'm not allowing the players to create their characters. Instead, I'm creating characters for them that represent them, right? And the jobs and stuff that they do in real life, and bringing them back and seeing how they survive, and like give them a little challenge or whatever. And Katie and Parker, since it was their birthday, I'm gonna incorporate somehow to make the entire experience, like make them important in some way, right? So it's kind of like, oh, it's your birthday and whatever, right? And it should be fun like that. So, but that's the idea. Oh, look, we actually get Sneaky Pete today, and we don't get Glow Wax Spot. How's everybody doing? Sneaky Pete. All right, well, I mean, I'm liking what we're seeing here. Really, you know, we need to do the cloak, the capey. Oh, that's right. Yeah, you're off today. You're off tomorrow. You're off Sunday. Yeah, Pete and I are about to paint up a crazy 40K inspired Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde type scenario, so that should be pretty fun. Shout out to everybody watching though. I haven't really looked today at all, like how many people are hanging out, who's here. I do appreciate it. Remember, you can check out the web store. I have uploaded 2 airbrush classes that are happening, one next month, one the following month after that. And then we also now have sponsored streams. Have a good evening, Todd. Thanks for checking in. And then the web store is going to update at some point, guys. Like I said earlier today, there's a lot going on. There's a lot going on. So, but I do need to announce it's going to have like the next Patreon stuff and the next Miniature Monday set will be announced tomorrow, and they will go live tomorrow, and then that way you have 2 weeks, right, to order, get them ordered, produced, out the door. It's all good. So, but yeah, so today we were finishing up Legolas, and then we do have from this whole set, I do have like a vampire mini that I need to paint as a part of it, so that'll be fun. It'll take another 2-hour session or so. And then beyond that, like I said, tonight I am most likely going to assemble whatever Dominion mini I want to paint up first. Trash, yeah. No, I don't think we're gonna be doing that because the 3D printed resin isn't food safe, so I definitely don't want to be doing that. But I think that's pretty much it. So, oh look, Sydney literally just sent me this very second a drawing she just finished. You guys want to see it? Look at this thing. Look at this guy. Hold on, check this out. She's like, it's funny because she'll send it to me because she's working on her iPad and then she wants to transfer it to something else. So she always just sends it over Messenger. Where are we? All right, look at this. Let's inspect our details here. Looks like we got hands, barbed wire. I like the bat heart. That's pretty cool. Don't really know what's going on, but there you go. There it is. It's always like, what am I gonna see? But yeah, all right. So now this is the last mini for the Lord of the Rings set. So there it is. I'll be finishing up all the basing on them. Any finishing touches, we will do a really nice little treatment on them, photos, everything like that. We'll do the silent auction on them, or maybe I'll just I'll include them with the next Purge update, right? Because as soon as I get my Kickstarter from Reaper, I'm going to sell that stuff too. So all that will be in the Purge when I do that update. Because I do have some stuff left over. I have like a Cthulhu that sold, didn't actually get sold. Some Mud Gullets that didn't actually get sold. I've got 2 Gormaws left over that I didn't think I had. So I have 12 Mumlax. So I have like additional stuff I need to sell. So I'll probably just do that, and then part of it will be a silent auction for that full set whenever it's ready. But so anyway, tomorrow we are going to literally try to attempt to finish Holly Monster's miniature. Finally, we're back on schedule. Probably 2 more sessions on her mini, and we will get it done. And then beyond that, we'll just figure out what we're doing next. So thanks so much for hanging out, of course, today. And I will see you tomorrow. Same time, same face. I appreciate you. That's it, man. Have a good one.